but if he did, it was lost in all of the commotion. I don't remember him saying anything at all.
So what happened when you figured out that, no, this wasn't just an ordinary car accident of some kind?
Well, it took a while to realize that he had a knife and that it wasn't just a regular car accident. And once everyone realized that, everyone scattered. And I personally ran through the building to the other side to the other street across the block. And I lost sight of him at that point.
Dr. Thomas, tell us about what was happening at the hospital when these injuries started coming in and what you saw.
Good morning. Thank you. This is something that we train for, both here at the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center as well as with our colleagues around the city. You know, Columbus is a major metropolitan area of over 1 million people, so we have a local trauma service that coordinates activities like this. We work with our local EMS and first responders multiple times per year on drills. So this was something that felt real to us, obviously. It was not a drill, but at the same time, our folks were coordinated, knew what to do. We had within minutes trauma surgeons arrive in the emergency department. We had nurses, respiratory therapists, pharmacists, all descend to be ready for patients to arrive.
I want to just read what we think the latest is with the victims. 6 victims with car-related injuries, 4 victims with stabbing-related injuries, 1 with laceration. At least 2 went through surgery. Can you tell us how those that are at your hospital are doing?
Sure. Everyone's doing well. At this point, we see no reason to be concerned about life-threatening injuries. There are still, as far as my information, 4 individuals in the hospital, 2 at the Wexner Medical Center at Ohio State and 2 others at another local hospital. We were able yesterday to go visit some of those individuals. Unfortunately missed some that were treated and released from the emergency department, but met with them, went with their families. Their families were available, and we have a great student counseling service here that does outreach to students, both that were injured, but obviously, as you heard, there were dozens, if not hundreds of other students that were involved, either at the scene or being barricaded in classrooms. So there will be a big outreach to both the student, staff, and faculty community for counseling, therapy, anything that's needed to help people respond to this. We're a very resilient community here. It's a city within a city with over 50,000 students and tens of thousands of staff and faculty, and we'll get through this.
Of course you will, Doctor, but we just don't know how long the repercussions of something like this, witnessing it and experiencing it. Logan, we've seen some pictures and video of kids having to barricade their classrooms, being terrified and just praying that the attacker didn't come in. When you went and hid, then what did you see?
I didn't get to see a whole bunch once I got inside because they had already taken down the knifeman in the car, and the shooters were on the other edge of campus. So everyone was inside being safe, but I really didn't get to see anything in the classroom I was in because I was close to the initial incident.
Yeah, no, I guess I mean that inside, what was the reaction of students who were scared and trying to hide?
Everyone was on edge. No one was freaking out in the area I was. Everyone figured it was under control because we were near the biggest section of policemen on campus at that point. Everyone close to me felt safe, more or less.
And Logan, I read that you have a regret that you weren't able to tackle the attacker and to stop him. And Logan, I just hope that you will be able to get past that, because everyone understands that you did the best you could, as did everyone in that situation. And we're so grateful for the officer who showed up so quickly and was able to take him out.
Yeah.
Doctor.
There's no doubt he's the true hero in the situation.
Absolutely. Dr. Thomas, Logan Chapman, thank you very much for being here. Best of luck to you guys.
Thank you.
Let's get to Chris.
Yeah, that kid's job was to survive. The only person responsible for what happened there is the boy who did it. Breaking news, 75 people killed after this charter plane crash going from Bolivia to Colombia inside a Brazilian soccer team, as well as traveling media and, of course, the staff and crew. The amazing part of this is that there are survivors. Let's get the very latest from CNN's Shasta Darlington live in Rio de Janeiro. This is going to be hard news there. This team had just ascended to national stardom.
That's right, Chris. This really is being treated like a national tragedy. But as you said, there is the silver lining. There are now 6 survivors. Just a few minutes ago, we thought it was only 5. But as rescue workers pulled aside the fuselage, they found a 6th person who survived under that fuselage. This has been difficult work, very rainy conditions. Of course, the crash occurred just outside of Medellin, Colombia, right around 1 a.m. There are 5 survivors in the hospital. They've just found the 6th. We know that 2 of them are from the Chapecoense Brazilian soccer team. One of them is a crew member. So there are hundreds of people already gathering in southern Brazil in the town of Chapecó at the stadium, just waiting for details about who the survivors were and who didn't make it. Really tough story in this soccer crazy country. We know that the plane took off from Bolivia as the team was headed, this was the final leg of their journey, headed to the Copa Sudamérica, this South American tournament, and they were ecstatic right before they took off. They were celebrating the fact that they had climbed up, they'd clawed their way up to the top tier in Brazil's football league, and now they were going to represent their home team at this very important tournament. Chris and Allison.
Oh my gosh, Shasta, just seeing the video of them at the airport, you know, obviously before all of this, it's really striking, and to know that there are survivors. Please keep us updated on that story. All right, turning now to the White House transition. President-elect Donald Trump will meet tonight with Mitt Romney, who is still reportedly on the short list for Secretary of State. Mr. Trump confirming moments ago his cabinet pick for Health and Human Services. That is